Good morning, business owners. We're back again Sunday morning, and today's topic is all around gratitude. And I guess with wherever you are in life right now, if you're in a place where, let's say, you're challenged, or even if things are going amazingly well, I guess the question I've got for you is: can business owners express gratitude? And I guess more important, even when times are tough, or even particularly when times are great, we're all different. But I think, running a business and being a business owner, you can get caught up in life and either thinking this is the way things are, getting caught up in, I guess, almost Groundhog Day of things just being consistently the same and not really any different, or things just kind of going to a point where they get out of hand, very difficult. And that may be happening for a lot of people right now, especially with the lockdown, restrictions on life. It may be causing a lot of financial challenges for people. It can also be emotional, mental challenges. And I guess, if you looked at your life and you were thinking, well, is this really something great? You might think there's got to be something better than this, but you might not be thinking that it's about expressing gratitude and appreciating what's actually happening in your life. But I guess coming at it from a different perspective. And I guess that's what, expressing gratitude can mean for some people. And hopefully there's a few things I'm going to touch on this morning. It's not going to be too long, this live. But there's a few things I hope that I can touch on just to kind of, I guess, lighten your day, change your perspective, and allow you to see things slightly different to perhaps where maybe you are right now, if you are going through some challenges. And, if you're in a great place, how to step into an awesome place, more importantly. So anyway, guys, good morning, business owners. Leon Street here. Can business owners express gratitude in tough times? Remember, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And if you're not on YouTube or not following me on YouTube, go over there and do so now. Simply go to YouTube and look for Leon Street. Leon Street. I keep saying leonstreet.com. But go and find me, Leon Street. Got loads of videos on there, great content for business owners around marketing, sales, mindset, and a few other videos of everything in between. So anyway, guys, let me just jump into this. I'm going to start off with a quote just to kind of set the scene. True forgiveness is when you can say thank you for that experience. And that's from Oprah. And when you start to look at this quote, I guess in terms of the experience, it's like, well, you don't know whether that experience is good or bad, but true forgiveness is when you can just say thank you for that experience, whether it is good or bad, and just knowing that actually that's what it was. It was an experience. It was an experience to either learn from, to just have been through. May have been good, may have been bad. Obviously, that's your judgment of it. But the way that I guess you got to change your perspective on things is how you can get to this place of gratitude. Because let's say you are in a difficult place and you're thinking, how the hell can I be grateful for this difficult, it could be whatever. Yeah. Could be financial as of right now. It could just be, opportunities aren't working out the way that you hope they would. It could be feeling like the world is against you. Yeah. It probably isn't, probably just yourself. And well, if you're like me, that's how I guess I've experienced things. It's never really the world, it's you. And I guess if we look at this quote from Oprah, that's all it is. Life is filled with many different experiences, but it's your perspective on whether it's good or bad or just indifferent or just, average, vanilla. And for me, being in a place of, where you can express gratitude, it's really just changing the angle. Yeah. If let's say you're at the cinema and there's a really tall person sat in front of you, well, perhaps if there's a few, seats spare to the left or right of you, then you just change your seat, get a better perspective. And I guess for me, that's what, where you can change your approach to getting more gratitude or receiving more gratitude or expressing more gratitude can come from. So I've got 7 simple steps, guys. I'm just going to take you through them. And what I hope is that you can take these on board today. and use them in your life just to change your perspective, change what it is that you're seeing, and just know that actually it's just an experience, but how you choose to receive it is entirely down to you, and how you want to label it. But the first step is appreciate every good thing in life, not just the big things. And it's so easy just to appreciate when the big things happen, because we all want, it can be different things like relationships, it can be having better ways to handle emotion, it can be financial, it can be time, it can be many different things that we want to see in our lives. And a lot of the time, we look at the big things, the things that we're really going for, and we kind of discount some of the smaller things. And I'd say, one of the biggest things is you being able to be grateful for just good things. Yeah, it could be a relationship, it could be your husband, your wife, it could be your children, it could be spending time with your children, and not really understanding or appreciating that actually, those are important moments. Those are the things that you're not going to get back, right? And sometimes we're looking for the big win in business, like a sales win, or perhaps looking for our partner. If you're not with somebody, looking for the perfect partner, or something of like major significance. And what happens is you go through your life kind of like seeking, and you're never in this place of just simply expressing gratitude, being grateful for whatever is happening right now. And so for me, it is just appreciating the good things. Like this morning, for instance, I was with my 10-month-old daughter, and we're downstairs in the lounge, and she was playing with her toys, and then she crawls over to me, and then she kind of gives this I guess motion to suggest Dad pick me up. So I pick her up, and then she just wanted to be picked up and held. And it's like, that's I guess a good thing to be grateful for in life, right? Whereas I could have picked her up, just hugged her, and just not thought any more about it. So start looking at what are the things in your life that are good. Is it the fact that you've got a roof over your head? It might not be, just physical connection. It could be that perhaps where you live right now, you've got food in your fridge or in your tummy. You're not hungry. You got a roof over your head. You got running water. You've got heating. And sometimes it might just be, it might be simple like that, because sometimes we're looking for something way more, and it's because we get accustomed to and comfortable to a certain lifestyle, right? But just because you get comfortable and accustomed to a certain lifestyle doesn't mean that you can't express gratitude for those things. So even look for, gratitude in that, what you have around you in your environment. So number 2, and if you've got anything different as well, guys, that you want to share it in a comment. Charmin, thankfulness for everything I have. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that, Charmin. So number 2, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit just so anybody can see who's watching this as well. Remember, guys, if you're listening to this on the podcast, I appreciate you guys, but do remember, jump over to YouTube as well, where you can see the video version of the podcast and what I'm putting out. So number 2 is find gratitude in your challenges. Now, I probably alluded to this in what I said already, that, whatever you experience, good or bad, it's your take, it's your perspective on that. And your challenges are going to be your difficult times. Yeah. And if you can express gratitude, even in your darkest hour, in your difficult times, in your challenges, this will change your perspective on a whole new level, because you won't be looking at things as the victim. Yeah, you'll be looking at things as experiences, and knowing that you have the ability to look outside of them and just thank them for whatever lesson you were meant to gain. And sometimes the lessons aren't clear straight away. Sometimes the lessons or the learning from that challenge, that lesson, comes later, and it comes on reflection, thinking, giving yourself the space just to recognize what actually happened, or to reflect and see what the outcome was, and actually what it meant to you. And so finding gratitude in your challenges is another important way to express gratitude, and not only express it, but just to really understand I guess what experiences in life are really all about. And they're here just to teach you. They're here to teach you. They're here to give you lessons. And from that, you can, evolve your life to another level just by being able to, like I say, find gratitude in your challenges. Step three is practice mindfulness. And, for some people, this might be things like meditation, it might be praying. But mindfulness is it's simply just your ability to take yourself outside of, oh, woe is me, or small thinking, or, not knowing how to express or even know that there's great things going on in your life, and be, things to be grateful for, therefore showing gratitude. Because you're lost in the ego. And when I say lost in the ego, it's just like you don't give space, you don't create space for you to have that, and for you to think, actually, my life isn't, the worst life ever, or it's not just filled with drama, or I don't have anything big to kind of be grateful for. Yeah, I only have small stuff. It's like, it's creating that space, and creating the space so that you understand your way of thinking. Yeah, and that's key here, because if you found it difficult to express gratitude in the past, or even right up until now, even when you've got good things happening in your life, it might just be the way that you approach your thinking, and what's going on in your head, and finding a quiet space. And that's why I said, it might be meditation, it might be praying. And there's different ways to do this, obviously. Some people like to reconnect with nature, just getting out for a walk and just being amongst nature. And this is where you can start to find that reconnection by practicing mindfulness, because it will allow you to start thinking in a different way, to have a new structure to how you think, to create space, to create the space just to think. And sometimes it's not even the thinking, it's just creating the space. It's like having nothing in your mind, and finding a quiet space. And practicing mindfulness can help you to get back to a place of being grateful for what you have. And even to the point when you get to this, being grateful for the air that you breathe. Yeah, because if you think about it, every breath that you have, it's the most important breath. Like the breath you take right now, is that not the most important breath? Yeah, because without it, and without being able to take that next breath, you don't breathe. And so even, from a place of mindfulness, you can really get to this point of simplicity. And actually, simplicity was the live training that I spoke about last week. But just coming back to mindfulness, is that, if you can even have gratitude, even in that breath that you take, like, this is how you can break things down, so that you can come from this place of appreciating the good things, right? And step 4 is keep a record of it. If you find it difficult, start to keep a record of the great things, that have happened. And when I say great things, it can be the small things. It can be, even, I guess, somebody smiling at you as you go to a shop or a post office, just because they're a happy person and they choose to smile back at you. Remember, smile back at them. But keep a record, record of the times where you've had connection with your children, with your family, where you've had a great experience in your business with customers, and the one thing I do know is that on coaching calls, a lot of the times with my clients, I find that I have a really great experience, and especially connection with them. And especially when we're overcoming a challenge that they have, and I'm able to shed some light on it so they can see it from a different perspective, like I spoke about earlier. And that way they're able to see, like, this is the lesson here. This is what I needed to understand. And a lot of the times, because we don't have a record, we find it hard, because we fill our minds with so many different things, so many different distractions in day-to-day life, from mobile phones to email to social media, that sometimes we don't see that actually there is gratitude and different events that we can be grateful for all around us all the time. Step 5, volunteer. So if you really want to get to a place of, like, kind of jolt yourself out of your comfort zone, volunteer. Volunteer for some type of charity where you help somebody else, because usually in the helping of other people, we can start to reflect on our own lives easier. And it's usually because we look at their situation, and we can look at their situation more objectively than our own lives. And it's often the way, because there's that, the famous saying, it's easier to look from the outside in. Yeah. And so whenever you're looking at your own life, it becomes a bit more difficult. There's the other quote that says, when you're in the frame, you can't see the picture. But when you volunteer by putting somebody else first. And usually that gives you space. And coming back to kind of mindfulness, it gives you space because you're in the moment helping somebody else, putting them first. And actually, by helping others, it can give you an understanding of appreciation, an understanding of gratitude, and being grateful for what you do have. So, look at volunteering. Volunteering is a great way to really look from the outside in at other people's lives, other people's events and challenges, in order to understand actually what you can be grateful for in your life. Step 6, express yourself. Expressing gratitude is important. If you're not a very outwardly emotional person, this can be very important because a lot of us, and I say a lot, we're kind of secret emotional beings, as in we don't want to be too open because we don't want people to see if we're making a mistake, or we don't want to make a mistake and then be seen to be a fool. And expressing yourself it can cause quite emotional uncomfortableness, because when you express yourself, sometimes it might not be the natural thing that you would naturally do. And especially, as an example, let's say you're a very masculine type of person, yeah. Let's say you're as a business owner, and I'm talking about male and female guys. But let's say you're in a business where you need to show that you are strong, professional, and nothing kind of gets past you. But what can happen is you can go too far to the extreme, where you show that you're great at all different things, but you don't want to show weakness, and therefore you see showing gratitude as a weakness, and that can happen. I've seen that as well. And the reality is that if you don't express yourself and gratitude, actually it can be seen as many different things, like bad manners, rudeness. It can be seen as somebody who's ungrateful, yeah. And for me, that's one of the key things that I find very off-putting, when people are ungrateful, they don't express gratitude. And I'm not saying that they have to just for me. I'm just saying when I've seen it, and when people are not aware that they're not expressing themselves, and that it's okay to express yourself. And so for me, look at it. Perhaps you need to express yourself with people at home, your family. So your children, your partner, husband, wife, that type of thing. And especially in business, because perhaps you need to express gratitude to your team members. And I do that quite regularly. Sometimes there are little trivial things that are happening that, for instance, my team will pull together or organize, like my project manager VA. Perhaps she's organized a really good meeting and stuff like that. And sometimes what I'll just drop a voice note just to say thank you. Thank you, Rose. And the importance of that is you're expressing gratitude in a way that people can connect with you, and that they know that they're also valid in your life. Not that you validate them, but they know that they're valid as well, and that they bring something to you. And the expressing isn't just for the other person, it's for you to say, actually, yeah, I recognize that actually there's some great things in my life, and it can just be the small things. And so for me, getting more into the expressing of it will change your approach to gratitude. And I know I was doing some research into it, that when you express gratitude, it increases the percentage of how happy you are. And I think it goes from something like 4 to 19%. There was some kind of research into it. So, even expressing yourself more increases your own happiness. And it's a natural thing. If you're expressing yourself more around gratitude, well, usually you're expressing something that's good, that's happening in your life, that you're grateful for. And so obviously it is going to change, I guess, the way you're looking at life and how you feel, and therefore your frame around things. And so you change and move into a better state and to a higher state. So express yourself more, guys. And then my final one is spend time with loved ones. So I've kind of mentioned it as well, the different people in your life, and loved ones might be friends. Loved ones, not in the kind of lovey-dovey sense, but loved ones might be the people you love to be around, the people you're passionate about. And it could be your team members, it could be clients, it could be suppliers, whoever it is, right? But just spend time with them, and spend time with loved ones at home as well, as in, friends, family, perhaps people you haven't seen for a while. And this is another good way to kind of express gratitude, because it gives you an appreciation for the people in your life, because not everybody has the people that you have in your life. Yeah, not everybody is as fortunate, and so do be grateful. You know, some people have got other people who've passed on, they've died, and therefore they don't have that privilege. And so the people that you do have in your life, it's great to spend time with loved ones and just express to them your gratefulness for having them in your life. Again, expressing yourself, expressing your gratitude. And I say this from, the perspective of business, yet, spending time with loved ones will have that effect on you, where it will increase happiness. It will increase, your I guess your approach to different things in life, and especially business, because it will increase the happiness of you. So therefore it will have an impact on how you approach business. And, even if the people in your life are a challenge, even if the people in your life that are still in your life, I mean, that you choose to have in your life, perhaps you can only spend a limited amount of time with them, but just be grateful. Yeah. And express your gratitude around that. It's not like you've got to spend all your time with them. It's not about that. It's not about how much time. It's just your ability to express your gratitude that they are in your life and that they bring something to your life. And if that something is simply a lesson, then so be it, and express the gratitude for that. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this morning. I just wanted to share a few things around gratitude, because I think it's one of the things that sometimes we miss as business owners, because we're so busy, we're so going for, the next thing, the next goal, the next, whatever it is, the next level, the next summit, right? And sometimes we don't stop just to look around, change our perspective and say, you know what, I'm grateful for everything that I have in my life right now. Yeah, I'm grateful, but I'm hungry for more. So you can still go for more, guys. There's no harm in that, but just be grateful, truly grateful for what you do have, because you'll help to give yourself more clarity and inner peace ultimately, because you won't be going through life where you haven't stopped to look around, you haven't stopped to see the landscape, and rather than just having the blinkers on and just driving ahead, you'll have an appreciation for the steps that you took to get to where you're going. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you enjoy this content, please do make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I appreciate everybody who watches on Facebook. Remember to give me a heart or a thumbs up. And here's my final quote for today's topic: wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every corner of your life. Rumi. So guys, remember, check out the YouTube channel. Go to leonstreet.com/YouTube. You will be redirected to the channel where you can subscribe for more videos like this. And I'll be back next Sunday, 8:30 a.m., bringing you some more great content for business owners to wake up to set your Sunday up for the right way going forward, to set up the rest of your new week ahead. And guys, I do appreciate you watching. And remember, if you do have any questions, comments, or anything you want to ask me about today's live, please drop them in a comment below this video. But other than that, I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my day. Take care, and thank you for watching.